You're up.
All right. Welcome, everybody. Good afternoon or morning, whatever. I don't know. We got a couple of,
It's
we
pretty early,
got a
Bryce.
couple of stocks on watch today. Actually had a pretty good morning here in pre-market as well. So that's going to definitely influence some of the stocks I'm looking at. I know Matt and I are both looking at WOLF. Really, really impressive run here. This thing is gapped up about 50% from yesterday, which yesterday almost seemed like the blow-off day. But really, it just kind of grinded up all day, and now we're getting the real squeeze out. I'm going to be honest with you, right? I really like this more. I know people are going to be like, Bryce is a short seller. I think this is probably better off as a short after a morning blow off. So there might very well be, if we get a dip and rip on this thing, oh baby, I think there actually would probably be a long first. I wouldn't want to short this unless we started pushing like four plus into that. So Wolf is definitely a big watch for both a long and a short, but I think bigger picture, I am looking more on the short side here. Also, if we don't get a blow off type of action, if we're just like walking up into that, also not really a great short. A couple of things would have to set up quite well. By the way, morning Romeo, good morning Silvino. Nice. Okay, now another stock that I'm watching here today. Matt, you want to go over to Egg? I just like the ticker name. No, I'm kidding. EGG, a little bit of a weird one. Didn't get a ton of volume, but it looks like a really good third-day surge. Third-day surges I'm normally pretty bullish on. And it's a recent IPO too, which kind of helps. So I'm going to be looking at this through roughly like $5. A little bit over, probably like 520s. Now, basically a break of yesterday's highs. And if we start basing this morning, this is really going to be dependent on volume. Yesterday, it didn't have much volume. The first day of its run, it traded roughly, just about 10 million shares. So not crazy, but it's, a 5 million share float. And with these recent IPOs, I think they have a lot of room to run if they do get that volume going. So those are going to be my two main watches. VOR is kind of a side watch here. I still think we're due for a red day on this, a first red day. Which is one of my favorite short bias patterns. But I don't know if today's the day. We're gapping over yesterday's highs just about, which is pretty crazy. 320 major resistance level here. So we got some work to do. We'll see. But basically, yeah, WOLF short if we get a blow off, and EGG long for a third day surge through like $5 to $5.20 if we can get it. Matt, take it away.
I like it. Not as big a fan as VOR. I would like this one to spike a little bit more, I think, and definitely more short. It's just up a ton at this point. I don't know, more wait and see on my book. I do see the trade there. NDRA is kind of the big gapper, low float one of the day. We don't really have, it's up 200%. Don't make me sound like it's not up a ton, but we haven't had, one big explosive move. Typically we have one of those a day right now. I think NDRA is probably going to be that trade. Waiting and seeing, typically I like to see some dip and rips. I want to see some shorts get stuck. So if this just takes off immediately right out of the gate, probably going to be a miss. I'll just watch it go. But I do like how gapped up after hours yesterday, held, and then continued to break out here. At this point, I think over 10 definitely could go. But like I said, I do kind of want to see it relax a little bit. Main watch, I think, is going to be Wolf. Wolf is a bankrupt company. So just throwing that out there, red flags. It definitely, it's going to get halted one of these days, delisted to the OTC. That's how the NYSE, New York Stock Exchange, does it. I doubt it's going to happen during this run, but there's always that tail risk event. So keep that in mind. It'll probably happen once this run dies down and it goes sideways a couple of days. But one of the big reasons that this has run so much over the last 3-4 days here is that, well, it did file bankruptcy. Chart's a little messed up, but filed bankruptcy, shorts hammered into it, expecting an easy win, expecting it to, gap down 80-90% when it gets delisted. Didn't, and now we're squeezing. So at this point, very, very nice trend here. Very nice consolidation. We've got this pretty clean level, about 320 or so. Watching to see how that holds. Again, I want to see some dip and rips. I don't like chasing just immediately out of the gate, even though we do have some consolidation here. I think big picture shorts are super twisted. But obviously, we are now gapping up 46%. The stock came from like under $1. So how many shorts are left is kind of the question. And we're going to have to wait and see if we can trap some shorts early in the morning in the first 15 minutes by dipping. That's really going to be my main trade there. Probably buy over these highs and risk the low. The other one is Pro Kidney, Pro K. This one's just interesting to me. Again, I really do need more time because spike collapsed and it came all the way back, which is crazy. It is a mid cap, so larger company. They've got some preclinical phase 2 news. And at the moment, it's holding up. So it's up 143%, which is a massive move, in my opinion, for $400 million company, 90 million float stock. So I don't know if it can hold the gains. I don't expect it to run another 100%, but we're going to have to, I guess, wait and see. So that one's kind of like back burner for me. Main watch in the open is definitely Wolf. Secondary for me is NDRA. NDRA. So real quick before we begin, we typically talk about this every time. Today, we're trading with our Tradefunder accounts. It is a prop trading firm. I just want to give a quick shout out to them before the market even opens. And if you're someone right now who's trading with a small account and you feel frustrated, maybe you're dealing with a pattern day trader rule, you can't get in and out of the positions or trade the way that you want, that Tradefunder account is definitely a game changer for you. It allows you to go out there, get funded, have an account over the pattern day trader rule. And there are some, rules and stipulations, which let me walk through, but they're very, very reasonable in my opinion. And honestly, I wish I had something like this when I got started. So I'm going to share my screen and show you guys that link. I did just drop in the chat, by the way. So make sure either you take a look at it now or by the time we're done here. But using Tradefunder, again, you can get a funded stock trading account. You can trade every single stock that we're trading here on these funded trading accounts. And as they say, there's no evaluations. You don't have to wait for payouts. They're partnered with T3, which is one of the biggest prop firms in the country. And here's what you can do and not do, big benefits. So you have that $25,000 account. You actually have $100,000 buying power. And they put some risk management in place, which I think is a fantastic thing for most new traders. They have a daily loss limit of $1,000. So if you do that, they just stop you out for the day. And when you sign up, you get one of these accounts. You do have a max drawdown of $37.50. All right. Now, the catch is they're in business with you, right? They want you to succeed because they go out there and there's a profit split. So in turn for giving you some money to trade with, it's an 80-20 profit split. You keep 80%, they keep the 20. So if you click this, you'll see immediately really good deal today, about half off, about 40% off the normal website price here, thanks to a big good partnership here with Tradefunder and Stocks to Trade. So you can get started with that account for just $800. And the idea of having to fund an account with $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, $30,000 to day trade with, it's kind of a thing of the past at this point. You can get started with just that small $800. Think of that as your investment to get started trading, to open your accounts. And now you can actually go out there and do some serious damage. So that link I have dropped in the chat, everybody. I do want you to go click it. I want you to take a look at it. We're going to talk more about that towards the end. But when we talk about our trades today and what we're trading, how we're trading them, it's all happening over here on Tradefunder. So definitely go over there and make sure that you get your account. And that way you don't miss any of these opportunities that come our way. Cool. All right. We got 4 minutes. So I know there was a couple people in the question. Thank you, everybody, for saying hi. Let's see. Smash the like, peeps. I agree. Smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe. We do this every morning. Someone says, does NDRA have news? I didn't see any news either, to be honest with you. Let me double check my comment there. But obviously it's moving pretty good for some reason. So let's do a quick look. It is the lowest float of the day. The float on this stock, under 1,730,000 shares. So crazy small. And I am not seeing any news, but that could also be part of the reason it's running. Shorts tend to get aggressive on stuff like this. And when that float is that tiny, we can see some pretty explosive moves out there. Warren says, in all honesty, how's the short inventory on Tradefunder? Yeah, so honestly, any stock that I've wanted to short, for example, one of the stocks too I don't want to forget about is BMNR. Not saying I'm going to short this today. Honestly, this could be a potential long today. Pretty crazy hold up, crazy setup. But BMNR I can short. I'm going to look to maybe short Wolf if it runs even more. At first, I'm going to look at a long. Long story short is I've never really had a problem finding shares to short. Me either. So that's my experience. Definitely, if you're looking to short sell, Short has more risk, as we all know, but a lot of these stocks do fade, so not a bad place to be. Let's see. Someone says NDRA is a fake ex post of a patent. Interesting. Fake ex post. I'll go look at that and see if we can confirm. Someone says BMR getting close to that 120 level. I know, over 120. Man, here's my take on BMR here. I don't want to be the first one to buy this at 120, right? If this goes, this is going to go to like 200. So if I'm buying at 130 because I'm late, because I waited for a better setup, and I have good risk reward, I'd rather take that trade than stab in at 120 and then immediately get faked out and it slams. So this definitely is a big setup. Shorts are definitely twisted and it's not breaking down. So very, very interesting to see. We haven't seen something like this in a long time. Yes, perfect. Thanks, Tactical. I saw that. Radio frequency application from NDRA. Speaking of which, is now currently trying to open at highs, which is great. Cool. We got about a minute and a half until game time, ladies and gentlemen.
Something else to note with BMNR. What we've noticed in the last couple of days of action here, while it's been running up, is that it makes its biggest moves after quick pullbacks that get bought back up, right? So if we're breaking through 120, I want to see that same action. I want to see a pullback that gets bought back up. I want to see that we still have buyers in control here. So I think waiting for that to just confirm to me is I think it's a really important aspect of this trade here for me.
I agree. Yeah. If it breaks, slams, catches,
boom.
Maybe I'd be looking to buy one of those dips, but not out of the gate. And that also is a crazy low float stock tied to Bitcoin. It's nuts. So I think out of the gate here, NDRA, Wolf are going to be my main two. Bryce, you watching any different ones out of the gate? Egg?
Egg, not as much out of the gate, I don't think. VOR, I'm a little curious out of the gates here. It rejected that breakout level pretty hard. So I'll definitely be keeping an eye on it. But again, I don't love it by any means.
Nice. There we go. Someone says BTOG. I know that was tried to run after hours. Yeah, it looks like crap. I'll save everyone some time. Looks pretty crappy. Not a trade I'm interested in there. All right, so we got NDRA. Wolf, a little small pull out of the gate. We'll see if it gets bought up. It's testing that main support level right now. David says, I got diamond hands on BMNR. I bought at 60. I think he says sold at 155 in the YouTube comments here. So that's David, I'm not doubting you. That's a fantastic trade, boss. All right, some pretty big volume there on Wolf. And it's holding for now.
Yeah, we really just want to see it hold that $3 level, I think. Oh, man, BMNR, big wick to the downside there. And bought right back up. I love that.
Yeah, Wolf breaking through that support. We'll have to see if it bounces back. Could totally be dead too. Like, again, this stock's up from like $1 to $4. So the end is near. It's just how much higher are we going? NDRA holding up, pushing. Oh, yeah, big push. Big push. Let's see. Wolf is already back. So impressive bounce back already.
Yeah, look at that.
BMR's flirting with that 120 level.
Yep.
And then NDRA looks like swiped and slammed.
This is the dip and rip level here on Wolf. We'll see if it don't love that. Little fake high day breakout.
Yeah. Patience there on Wolf. Short's definitely trying to hammer that one down. NDRA, not much. Vor, a little push.
That's looking that's not looking great for a dip and rip there.
On which one? Wolf?
Wolf, yeah, that's
Yeah.
breaking low. I mean, we'll see. It definitely could catch. It could absolutely catch. Unfortunately, I don't think the EGG plan is going to work here. I'm not seeing any volume coming in, and we're just starting to dump. So that's
NDRA is swiping back to highs. Tried to halt up there. Keeps trying to halt. I don't know if they're going to get it.
NDRA. Oh, nice swipe. Yeah.
It failed to halt up twice. Fail halt ups are usually pretty bearish. Not a great thing. Wayne says Wolf's trash. I mean, I agree. It's trash after it went up, what, 400%? So yeah, I mean, when a stock goes up 400%, what do we really expect here? Like we said a couple times, I was expecting this one close to being done.
I think setting expectations really important. You got to know what you're trading.
Yeah, but we'll wait and see. See if we get a little more fireworks. So far, NDRA, like I said before the market opened, I was expecting this one to be our firework of the day. It is trying to halt up again. Can't do it.
You know what could be interesting, I kind of forgot about, is a first green day idea on LIXT. Lixt. Yeah. It's pretty quiet right now.
Let's take a look at Lixt. Yeah.
Just
not much
something to keep in mind.
But definitely got some potential there. I agree on the 5-day.
Looks like VOR failed that high a day break quite aggressively.
Vor. Wolf be back.
Wolf do be back.
How about them apples?
Let me tell you, those are some apples.
Yeah, Wolf. I do like this Pro K so far fading. Like I said, this was a weird one where it pop drop all the way back. Wolf back over those levels. NDRA so far after like the 7th failed halt up, it is crashing. Vor failing as well.
Yep. I'm liking Vor a little more on the short side now for failed follow through idea.
BMNR is something interesting. Wolf back down. Same pattern. If it breaks below this lows here, I do think it's probably a goner.
BMNR, nice recovery. Not as big of a swipe as I would have wanted to see, like it on that initial swipe up, but we'll see.
Yeah, 120 is definitely quite a level. So looks like Wolf's going for those lows.
Yep, Wolf crashing there. That's a tough one though. It's not really an easy one to short there. Unfortunately, there's not a great trade on it. I don't think.
Check BBAI. I know we were watching. I was talking. Wow, yeah. I said BBAI breakout yesterday with the DIT members there over $8. Straight up. Very nice.
Oh, nice. Wow. Holy smokes. What a recovery on that daily chart.
It looks just like SOUN, man.
Yeah.
Before Wolf is not failing, man. I have deja vu to yesterday's webinar. BSLK, we got a lot of people BSLK in the chat. What do we got? I'm not a big fan of these ones, ladies and gentlemen. Bryce can have his different opinions, but popped. It faded for like 5 hours this morning already.
Which one? BSLK?
BSLK.
Oh, no. Yeah, I mean,
it already faded for 5 hours. It's popping, I understand, but you have 5 hours of potential sellers that can beat this thing down.
Yeah, so. and you go back to so the problem is you go on the daily chart here, and you have this day on like May 30th. Right. And like we're already at resistance there on the intraday, but now we have all this pre-market resistance. It's just for this thing to work, it would need to, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it would need to just plow through not only the pre-market resistance, those 5 hours of sellers, but also the daily chart resistance where we traded 30 million shares with resistance here at 350. Like, great, you make it through 350. Now you got to make it through 4. Then you got to make it through 450 with all these sellers pre-market. I'm in the same boat as you, man.
Yeah, I just got a lot of work to do. We're testing this 120. I'm not going to be the first buyer. There we go. We're just 121 here. I like this one a lot. If we look at yesterday, obviously 120 was key. We also had this like 125 level. Makes a lot of sense. If we zoom out even further on BMNR, let me draw those lines again. 120, 125. If we get above those, we're kind of smooth sailing here. So I don't think this is one that's just going to go straight up. I've been wrong before. NDRA did halt down. Lots of warnings on that too. We completely avoided it. It failed to halt up, as I said, like 6-7 times, and that's pretty bearish. So halt down. Wouldn't be surprised if that one's a total goner and dead. Wolf as well keeps fading below 3. At this point, it's kind of a back burner idea for me. I'll keep checking in, looking at it, but not uber bullish, to say the least, on that trade idea.
Yeah.
Bryce, did you say you shorted VOR?
Shorted VOR on that low at daybreak, just risking 330. This is one of my favorite ways to see a first red day play out is a fake breakout. So you can get a day. Like yesterday, we had that big wick, right? We wicked up over $3, closed down at 2, gapped up today. It's a 50-50 whether or not they actually break the previous day's highs. We can sometimes just use that as resistance, but broke out of that today and just slammed here. Because now there's just a really good, clear, clean risk level. I'm able to get short before we actually go red with decent size. And then if we do start going red, might even be able to look to add a little bit into that. So, my current average there is at roughly $3. But long wise, I'm also keeping an eye here on LIXT. I still think that could be fun, but it did fail to go green yesterday. So we shall see. BMNR, I'd love to see it dip down to like 118 on that, man. That'd be nice. Quick dip down.
Honestly, I'd love to see it go a little higher first.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. It's like it's just kind of walking up. It's not swiping up as hard as it did even like yesterday morning, right? It's
a great point brought up here by Tactical Trading. He's on top of stuff. He or she is on top of stuff. When they close that private placement, the float is definitely much, much bigger. He says now near 43 million. I don't know. I'm going to read the news right now to see if that deal is closed. But once they do that, yeah, the float gets a lot bigger. So that does change the dynamics a little bit. So I'll look into that for everybody. We'll see. Wolf just dying off. Pro-K just dying off. NDRA is going to be unhalted soon. BBAI. BLSK is just walking up a bit. RLYB moving. Yeah, similar take on here to BLSK, which is it already popped. It got absolutely smashed, basically round trip the entire trade. This is just like a little bounce, I think. It's definitely got an uphill battle. BTCS is ripping. We got some Bitcoin plays, huh? Is this a breakout? I was looking at this chart the other day. It's close. Bitcoin is hot. All this company needs to do is drop some Bitcoin news, and it'll go to 10. Yeah. Good hold so far there, BMNR too, after that little failure. So a little wick there, Bryce.
I know, very, very strong wick there. I like seeing that.
OCC, Onondaga Community College.
I was going to say, yeah, that's all I was thinking of.
Yeah, I know. I saw it this morning too. We grew up in upstate New York, so Onondaga Community College. Yeah, this one's kind of same notes too. We've got a lot of these big fades pre-market, and now they're just getting some relief bounces. With so many of them, truth be told, we're bound to see probably one of them run, but I don't know which one. BNMR still floating around that level, pretty key area. Vor, good short, Bryce, dying off.
Thank you. Yeah, looking good.
You guys got a lot of tickers today. We got QS next. What's on QS here? That one's moving. It's only 8% though. I do like this for the quantum sector. That is a stunning chart, ladies and gentlemen. Absolute beaut breakout there. That might be a potential swing I'm going to look at. Other quants, IO and Q, I know they did an offering the other day, but it was completely bought back up. Usually when a stock does an offering like that, it gets bought back up. Pretty bullish. QUBT also has one of the best charts, in my opinion, in the entire market. If it does break above this $22 area.
Ooh, BMNR.
Oh,
that's
nice,
exactly the action I wanted to see on this before I considered starting to buy. To be completely, that is exactly like I didn't buy on that dip, but I wanted to see that kind of dip and then that kind of strength before getting too aggressive here. So that's really good to see.
Double halt here on NDRA. That's usually pretty bearish.
Love a good old double halt. Well, if you're short, I'm actually not short that one.
Wolf just won't die. I'm not saying it's in play, ladies and gentlemen, but it won't die.
No, I agree. Like, this is not
BTQQF. Whew! I texted Bryce. Bryce, when I texted you Thursday, I said, if you want free money, buy BQQF.
Hey, listen, I took that. I swung that and sold 690 on the 3rd. I mean, now, of course, we're at 8+. I don't know if I could. Oh, man. That was actually a really
crazy OTC breakout. I have OTC breakouts for my bread and butter, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's really how I grew my first initial account. And beautiful. On these, OTCs is a different world, but also QNCCF. This low volume, but it's kind of like the sister company. And look at that chart, Bryce.
QNCCF.
Look at like 1 year.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, stunning. Dude, look at the weekly chart on that. Wow.
Stunning. Not great volume. It needs a PR to break out, in my opinion, but beautiful chart. And with BTQQF running, again, they tend to run together.
Ooh, so, dude, my friend Sean, if Sean's watching here, he's a moderator in Small Cap Rockets. He's been big on a couple of charts you mentioned. QUBT, QNCCF. He had, I think, quite some time ago, sold he was long, I think, at like 50 cents and sold into that like 64-cent pop, and then it gapped up, something like that. But like these are beautiful charts. They're finally starting to see some action again. Like, what a time! Right. What a time to be a trader.
The trade of the day. Woo!
What's that?
Vor.
Yeah, man. Listen. I love a gap up first red day. You know what this reminds me of in a weird way? Not quite as good. But do you remember that Sava gap up first red day?
Yeah, I do.
It's nearly identical. Sava went on it wasn't as big of a run. I mean, Vor, it doesn't do it justice. Look at the daily chart. You actually have to look at where it came from. This thing's up 1,300% in the last 2 weeks. And it's just yesterday, I think, it didn't really have. So I was explaining this yesterday when I was talking to Small Cap Rockets. I was just like, it's so not clean in the way that it's running up. By the way, BMNR nuts. One more dip here, and I'll start in long. But it was not clean. It'd break out, dip down. So it looked like it was just like one last short getting squeezed out, which is why today I was a little bit more looking at it for a short. just because I think that yesterday was just someone finally getting really squeezed out. Could be wrong. I don't know. It could actually completely reverse and say, you know what? Screw you, Bryce. You actually suck. I'm going to send you through 330 just to show you you're wrong. But 120s, I think like the low to mid 120s on a dip here on BMNR is a very good. Like, I think there's a good risk reward aspect here on BMNR. What do you think, Matt?
I agree. Watching the dips pretty closely on BMR. Yep. I think that might be my trade. Dips versus 120. Is that what you just said?
That's dips versus 120. I like the 122 area.
Yep. I want to see how that does. Even. Nice push. We're officially over yesterday's highs at this point. That tells me anyone who shorted yesterday at all underwater, they're in trouble, right? That's good news. I like to see that. Everyone who shorted, with the outside exception of like the people in this 1 hour time frame who might be swing shorting, every single short seller is wrong right now. That's the position longs us we love to be in.
Yep.
Right. So absolutely great move here. And if we keep holding that 120, shorts are going to be sweating for sure. So I'm going to keep watching that. Going to be patient. Yeah. Let's see. BTCS. I do see has news, by the way. This tactical trading is on the game here today. Raise $100 million to buy an Ethereum company. So like that. I don't love the chart the most in the world, but I've seen worse charts. So I'm going to keep watching it. Kind of want to see. Volume's also not like A+, so definitely a trade there. Clearing up some ones I'm not uber interested in. BBAI, I think it's just going to be a slow grinder most of the day, so I'm going to let it do its thing. Vor, good short Bryce. NDRA was halted and is dying off. Wolf is not dead, and Pork, I keep calling it pork because it looks like pork. But Proke just dying off too. Kind of as expected there. So just doing a little housekeeping. Let's see. Wolf, I don't think is setting up great, but we are back over the opening price VWAP. If we look at overall VWAP, we're now inching over that as well.
Wolf is tough. Like Wolf, I don't really know.
It's on the downtrend. It's, if you watch yesterday RTL, we got to get out of this downtrend. We need a higher high for me to want to trade it. But we talked a lot about trapping shorts in the morning, and well, we did. Can't really do much more on the trapping shorts front. So we, at this point, need to get over 330. If we get over 330, I think we might be off to the races. Lots of shorts, mega twisted. So let's see. SRFM, I saw a couple people pumping it this morning. I'm not going to lie. A couple of pump tweets, alerts. That's a breakout chart, though. Wow. And I think they actually have some legit news. I can't remember who it was with. That's a good chart. I think the CEO or someone was buying a lot of shares.
What stock?
SRFM.
Oh.
And it's a breakout. Whoa. I mean, it's a nice chart.
That's a nice breakout.
And Wolf's back. Wolfie.
Yeah, no, that's weird. This is one of those ones too. So this reminds me, the way the intraday is setting up reminds me a lot of ARTL. We were looking, I think, for a very similar intraday setup, like a gap and crap reversal. But I think we have a stronger daily chart here. This is one I think we definitely got to keep an eye on now. Oh my gosh, BMNR not giving a dip though. BMNR said, you know what? Let's just keep rocking. Wolfie.
Wolf's my safe word. Who can name the movie? It's a great movie. Highly educational.
Yeah. Purely an educational movie.
Yeah. If you're doing stock market research, it's a required watch.
It might be that might be part of your homework today as well.
If you haven't watched the movie, you got to watch it now.
You know what? Hold on. Call me crazy, but I think there's a crazy blow off potential on WOLF through 333. It was a fake dip and rip that failed, that definitely trapped shorts, and now we're getting this kind of gap and crap reversal. I might throw some size through that high day breakout. I like that a lot.
Yeah, BNMR, we're getting a dip finally too.
Yep.
Yeah, this is one too. It's a higher price. I would definitely recommend using like a 5 or 15-minute chart. It's also kind of really wicky. So, small size, be patient. But we're definitely looking at versus this 120 level. I don't want to buy the first dip. I want to see the first dip hold. I'd probably be looking for the second dip. You're telling me in the chat not a single person can name that movie?
No way.
Not a
No
single person
way. Come
responded.
on, guys. Wolf's my safe word. Let's say that again. You got this. Think hard.
Hey, Telford's first.
I was gonna say it's in the name of the movie.
We like it. We like it. All right, Wolves again still in this downtrend, so not a long for me. I need some higher highs, preferably over this like 330, 333 area for me to get interested. BNMR, not much of a dip, but we're gonna be patient. It is the Wolf on Wall Street, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes,
that is your homework.
It's in the name. You got to go watch it if you've never seen it.
Purely educational. Was this legal? Absolutely beep not. There's a lot of good one-liners in that song.
They're amazing. You know what? I might watch that tonight.
I don't know if I'd give it a top 10 movie, but it's a good movie.
It's
a good movie.
It's one that
it's
can
on
Disney.
There we go, Disney Plus. Watch it with your kids.
You can watch Moana and then switch right on over to Wolf of Wall Street.
All right, Wolf here. Hey now.
Wolf looking good. 333 is my safe word.
There we go, Tuohey.
Thank you.
The tough thing about Wolf is I want to risk okay, good. It's dipping a little. Because I was gonna say I'd want to have to risk like this 310 level, the last low, but we never really tested it. It's just one little test, and I don't want to have to risk low a day. So,
if we can hold 310 here, because then we've got VWAP in our favor. Now we've got like a double. I don't want to call it a double bottom, but like just a retest of that same level here. Then we can break out. Oh, baby! Then that is great risk reward potential, because the truth is, I believe if this works, if this trade idea works, I don't think pre-market highs are unrealistic in the slightest.
I think you go to 4+.
I do too.
Totally honest with you.
I do too.
There's enough shorts in it.
I think that a ton of shorts in it because it's a bankruptcy play. A lot of shorts, I think, in this too, from like sub 150.
Debbie says she can't watch Wolf of Wall Street with her children.
What? What do you mean? Why not? I'm kidding.
Start them young. No, just kidding. Probably for the best. Boiler Room's another good movie as well. You watch that one, Bryce?
You know what? No, I've actually never seen Boiler Room.
Really?
I've seen clips of it online, but I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, it's solid. It's solid. Some good actors.
The Big Short. That's a great one, of course.
Big Short.
That's like Wolf of Wall Street if they didn't really swear that much in it.
Yeah, Boiler Room's a little more PG.
Let's see. What do we got? Come on. Hold for us, Wolfie.
Yeah, Wolfie's my top potential play. Excuse me. BSLK is holding well. Like, I still don't like it because I talk about like glass ceilings a lot, right? Like, if you look at all this support over here and resistance, draw it over, like we've got a brick wall in front of us that we were just running straight into. So I just feel like the gains are potentially capped. OCC, kind of the same thing. I don't like buying those. SRFM is running though, and it's a breakout. So might have to wait till later to see. BNMR finally getting a dip. We're going to see how quickly this thing's bought back up, if it's bought back up.
I had an order on 123. It just barely missed it. Just barely. Oh, that's getting bought back up.
Yeah, like I said, I don't really want that first dip. Second dip's more important to me. I'm conservative. Because again, I think there's so much potential upside.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's getting bought back up quick. That is bullish price action.
Yep, indeed it is.
We got MBRX, someone says. Wolfie's not doing much. Wow, yeah, good rip there. MBRX. Is there any news on that thing? Former runner. Quite a ripski sub-dollar stock. Let me look. MBRX. Not seeing any official news. SOUN, I know, is a large cap. Is that running 15%? It's nice. This was one of the best runners like 6 months ago. It's curling back up. I guess breakout round 3 on that one. Oh my, BNMR says, I don't care about your dip. I'm just going to keep going to highs.
Yeah, there you go. High day break right there. Wow.
Woo! On me. Wolf, I do like that we're testing that support a bit.
Yep.
But again, we're in a downtrend, so waiting for that first higher high. Biker Dude says NBNMR 119. Yeah, good entry. Good entry. European patent for treatment cancer is MBRX. Pretty aggressive pop and drop on this bad boy. Don't like buying stock straight up.
Wolf, nice hold. Really nice hold there, Wolf.
Didn't it? Nice.
Yeah, I think a 333 breakout and shorts are underwater. BMNR don't love that we just broke high a day there and didn't do a single thing.
They're just going to dump it to buy more shares.
Probably.
If I was an insider, that's exactly what I'd do. Say, I don't have enough shares, buy more. We're above a lot of support here. So we'll see. Where's this next dip going to leave us?
Oh, Wolf, don't do that. Don't reject VWAP. Come on.
The SK just grinding.
Ooh, BMNR, can she do it? Yeah, there's 130.
Holy guacamole.
Nice. I love that. A little fake high day break, get shorts uncomfortable, then just say, just kidding. It wasn't a fake.
Maggie says, just my 2 cents. I freaking love this. Just wait to the after hours session. Bryce takes his shirt off.
Oh, well.
Bryce is in the middle of nowhere, ladies and gentlemen, and he needs to make some money today to get gas to his next destination.
Yeah, hold on. Let me.
Can you show us where you are? He's literally in the middle of nowhere.
Literally in the middle of nowhere right now.
He's in his truck.
I'm in I call this the trade station, the trading station. If I don't make money today, I cannot afford fuel. I must stay here another day if I cannot make my fuel money back.
Oh, BMNR, ladies and gentlemen,
What's that?
just ripping 332 or 132.
Boom.
Wolf's still holding. Hope, a dream, a prayer.
Give me 82 big booms.
You like the boom, guys? What are they called?
Yeah, of course. BMNR, beautiful. Oh, VOR is red. Let's go.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Yeah,
dude.
just went red. Just made the red move. It's unfortunate. I didn't get as much size in that as I'd like. It's okay, but I really am hoping that Wolf is one that I think I'd like to put some size into, and that's unfortunately the lower this dip goes, the less size I'm gonna be able to take if it works, because that's gonna be my risk level. So, BMNR, give us a halt. Give us a halt. I will say this is trading a lot of volume here, though, and it's not swiping as hard as it once did.
Yeah, now we got a second tier level of support though.
Definitely.
NDRA death. Writing off. Vor, beautiful plan. BLSK, I've been talking crap about it the whole day, and it's just it keeps going up. Marine says, do you do this every day? Absolutely. Every single day. Pleasure to have you. Someone says, why are you asking for a halt, Bryce?
Why do I want a halt? Well, which one was I talking about a halt on? BMNR?
Yeah,
yeah. Well, because I want to halt to the upside, I should make very clear. That is normally just a really good sign that there's momentum in the stock. And again, it gets shorts really uncomfortable. It generally starts forcing panic covers. When we start halting to the upside, that's really the only reason I want one. More bullish momentum, the better, in my opinion, you know? Wolfie.
Yeah. Glad I waited. Yep. No trade.
Me too.
Life goes on.
Let's see, does this dip get bought up on BMNR? That's the real question.
BMR going for more highs, dog. Just keep trucking.
Ooh. Yes, it does. I like how that looks.
I wrote off Porky. Porky bouncing back though. PSTV, you still like over 40? I do. I haven't looked at that chart in a minute. Oh, some news today. This is like a longer term breakout chart. Yeah, I would actually say definitely over 40 today. That's a good potential trade. What's the news? Announces successful by some biotech crap. I'll definitely keep watching that one. LSK just straight up into that wall I was talking about and starting to fade a bit. OCC, I think, is going to do a bunch of nothing.
Wolf doing a whole bunch of nothing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think the Bears won on Wolf.
Definitely looks like it. Just grinding lower. BNMR definitely feels a little toppy here, but it's also not going down. So,
yeah. Scott says, are you guys mostly looking at shorting things or waiting for bounce backs? I'd say realistically, I'm kind of 50-50. It depends. I mean, I was planning on longing WOLF if we get through that high a day, 333. I'm long BMNR. I'm short VOR. So it really just depends on the setup. I take the trade for what it is. Yeah, I'm not too biased in either direction. Also, EGG up to the kind of very crap volume. I can't buy that.
Egghead?
Egghead. I can't buy Egghead.
Yeah, that volume's pretty crappy, huh?
Yep. That's unfortunate because the daily chart looks great. Just not worth taking a trade when the volume ain't good. That's what I always say.
Wolf, keep saying bad things about Wolf, Bryce. Every time you say a bad thing, the bottom gets set.
Yeah, I will, man. I will. Wolf, you suck. I don't know. What else should I say? Oh man, that trend looks great.
Dude, the trend's still there.
Are you drawing from pre-market in there?
Not exactly.
No. I kind of like that.
It's kind of like from the open, basically.
Actually, I kind of like that pre-market trend, but
there's the pre-market trend's a little longer.
A little bit longer. I mean, 320s is the level there.
Yeah. Not in the business of fighting a downtrend, but
if we break out of a downtrend, I'll be in the business of buying.
I know. BNMR pulling back. It is.
But we'll see. This will be a pretty interesting test here. Again, we've kind of formed that new layer. We've formed really two new layers of support on the intraday. One around the low 120s and the other right here, basically like 128 level. So we'll be interested to see if this can hold.
BLSK, just want to talk about this one because I avoided it because it was, again, running straight up into that resistance. And I don't know where it goes from here, but the point is, ran straight up into it. That's our top, our ceiling. Slammed into it. And obviously now it's pulling back. So that's why I like to avoid those because I know my upside potential is limited. So no question avoid for me on BSLK. Definitely money there, but not usually my style of trading. Already decent bounce on BNMR, so we'll see how it does. Keeps going. And keeping that main focus on Wolf. We only do have about 10 or 15 minutes left.
Yep. Hold on one second.
You see J-Rad?
No, hold on. What do you say? J-Rad. When all else fails, hit the gong. I didn't even. Yes, I didn't have the gong with me. I didn't bring it, which is quite unfortunate. I'm not going to have it for 2 weeks now. Well, actually, if I don't make money today, I can't even go home to get it. So I don't really know what I'm supposed to.
He's walking, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm gonna have to walk home. Yeah, I should bring that next time. ASST. What do we got here? What do we got with ASST?
Yeah, what was Paul Raw giving me your address?
I saw that. I know.
What's up, buddy? How you doing? ASST, nice run yesterday and popping back.
Yeah,
I would love this one tomorrow. I'd love this one tomorrow if it could go sideways.
Yeah, if this can go sideways today, if this can just hold over above 7, ideally, around that $8 area, I like it.
Yeah. Kind of thing.
Honestly, the higher it can hold, the better.
Yeah, if it holds somewhere in this box, and then we break out kind of over 9-ish tomorrow, that would be like an A+ trade for me.
Yep, agreed.
I'm pretty excited about that one tomorrow. MBRX swiping back up. Swipey.
Right.
You say swipe or no swiping?
Oh, I will.
PSTV is curling. Can this do an offering? I'm gonna do a little research.
BMNR definitely feels a little bit weak.
They do need cash. Call JG Wentworth. 877 cash now. They do need money. They can raise money. Just some potential risks there. I talked about this one 2 weeks ago. I said this is known for fail, but what if it doesn't fail? And that's kind of where we are right now.
It's quite wisdomous.
Right?
That's very wisdomous of you. Big wisdom.
Big wisdom if it doesn't fail.
Yeah, BMNR, that I'm not gonna lie to you, that doesn't feel great.
No, I would agree with you there. All right, well, Wolf, we're going to see if you're going to die on us.
Moment of truth here.
Yeah, it just keeps downtrending. But was it a fakey fake?
They say there's only one way to find out, Matt.
Is that what they say?
I think. Man, it's like trying to hold up. It's so annoying.
Wolf, I know. It doesn't know what it wants to do, Bryce.
I know.
Being a Mars, trying to hold that dip as well. What was just this low here? $296. Yeah, I think under 296, Wolf's definitely just a goner. Trend's too hard. Being a Mars says, adios, amigos.
Indeed, it does.
This RFM on a mission, straight up.
Woo! Yeah, it is. Nice breakout chart.
Proc. Oh.
PR okay?
Just
Porky. Ooh.
It's done the same thing twice now.
Yep.
All the way up, all the way back, all the way up. Legal Pimp's got a great question here, Bryce. Why don't you answer that one?
Let me see it. Since you guys are over PDT, why are you using Tradefunder? Oh, yeah, no, that's a phenomenal question. So one of the main reasons, I was talking about this yesterday, I really like being able, I call it like de-risking in a sense, right? This isn't my money. It's the same way when a lot of new traders start off paper trading, they trade really well. Why? Because they're not actually risking real, well, in their case, real money. In this case, I'm able to trade a lot better, not risking my money. I take the same trades, but I'm not worried about getting stopped out. I'm not worried about stopping out early. I'm not worried about any of that. And in the same breath, I'm also comfortable taking, generally speaking, bigger position sizes because, again, I'm taking it for the purpose of the trade. So for me, it's just largely a risk-based thing. And yeah, I absolutely love it. And I think it's kind of the same story for new traders, right? This is what I was just talking about. I see a lot of new traders, they start off and they're paper trading and they're trading with small size and they trade really well until they realize that, all right, if I want to make money, I have to size up. And if I size up, now I'm, again, risking my own money. I think this is a huge advantage for traders that, number one, don't want to be risking their own money. Number two, cannot be over the PDT and can't really take as many trades as they want. Again, if you guys have been here, you've heard the deal before. This is a way to basically trade our prop firm's money or Tradefunder's money. They're a prop firm. And normally, if you wanted to do this, you'd have to pay about $1,400 to get access to that 25K account. With our deal, you actually get it for $8.99, which is like nearly a 40% discount, which is sweet. And not only that, it's not like you're just seeing that money go away. No, that money basically is part of your account. So you get, Matt, can you scroll down a little bit here?
Yes, sir. All the way to the bottom?
Yeah, just right into there. Yep, perfect. So you have a daily loss limit of $1,000, and you've got a max end of day drawdown of basically $3,700. But you got to make sure you're not down more than like $1,000. This is risk management. So with that money that you put in, you're actually getting extra levels of losses to it. So you really should be trading it like it's your own money, but without the stress of truly being able to blow up fully a $25,000 account. They're going to cut you off. Legal Pimp said, how do we get your deal? By the way, that deal is literally listed right here on the screen.
If you're not on YouTube, go to YouTube. I think Legal Pimp, you're on YouTube. The link's in the comment. I put it on the screen. Let me know if that's working for you guys. If it's not, we'll try to find another way to get it to you. But that link right there, it's, again, kind of long. Stock-day-trader-instant-funding-matt-bryce. But using that link, that's how you can get that big discount code that is available. And again, just building off everything Bryce says, if you go to their website normally, it's $1,500. Is that correct, Bryce?
I think $1,400.
$1,400. here through us with this deal, thanks to Stocks Trade and the partnership, you can get started with just $800 to reward those serious traders. Why? Because Tradefunder wants you to make money. So they want serious traders. They want traders who are working on that, because one of the main ways they learn how to make their money for themselves is when you go out there, you profit, they get 20% of the profits. All right. That's a fair tax, in my opinion. Think of it like a tax. It's a fair tax for you to be able to go out there and not have to worry so much about risk, to be able to go out there, trade with a larger amount, to get above the pattern day trader rule, to maybe get in some of these big trades. So it's an $800 sign-up fee. Again, I understand it kind of feels like a purchase, but the way I think about it is you're going to put that money in a trading account anyways, and trading with just $800, that's pretty tough, versus instead going out there and being able to get a $25,000 account to get over the pattern day trader rule.
It's like a down payment on a house. When you put that money in, you're not losing that money. It's just going into the value of the house. It's
great,
the same
example. Yeah,
it's the same exact way here. It's just going into the value of your account. Also a way for them to make sure that you're actually serious about your trading here, because you got to put a little bit in and they're going to reward you for it. I see a question here. Sahil says a $15K max payout. That is per payout, right? If you go and make $200,000, they're not just going to cap you at 15. It's just $15K per payout.
Right. And these are real trades again, too. So like if you make 200 grand, they're pretty excited because they get their 20% tax for fronting you the money. And obviously that's some down the road, you build that up. That'd be quite amazing, but really cool opportunity. They have some traders out there that trade with $1 million accounts with them. So like they are a big deal. They're partnered with T3, which is one of the larger prop firms. Martin says, are they US only? They are, I believe, US only. That's the only exception. I know most of you are United States. That's actually really exciting to us because this has kind of existed overseas, but it's never really existed in the US before. So they're one of the first people to do that, to be able to actually trade all different kinds of stocks. Let's see. Yeah, and then the account as well. I can probably share mine. I have it on my other screen here. Can you see that? This is my trading platform and the trades that we can go out there, we can make. Wolf, it's very simple. Buy, sell, right within there, market limit orders. And if you've ever used Thinkorswim, it's kind of very similar to Thinkorswim's layout that is available. So really awesome, layout. That's all. You get started immediately. You got to take your Series 57. No, you don't. There's no test, no license, no requirement like that. You can get started immediately. You don't need to, be a standard licensed prop firm trader to be able to take advantage of this. How do they report end of year K1s, or do you have to report all on your taxes? Well, yes, you do have to report on your taxes. I'm not a tax guy, so don't.
Yeah,
I
definitely
really
don't listen to
I
us
have
for
to assume
tax
it's probably
advice.
a 1099. I'd have to assume, but that's a big assumption. So, is it open for Canadians? I'm not positive, Ken. It might be. If everyone could go to that link, right? I'm going to say sign up here now. Let me know if for whatever reason you cannot see this link that I'm posting. I've posted it in the chat a couple of times there, mostly over there on the Stocks Trade YouTube channel. So you can run over there. You can use it, sign it up. Nathan says it is 1099. Thank you, Nathan, for that confirmation. That makes a lot of sense on any of those profits that come through. And honestly, the way to think about it too, I don't want anyone to lose money or blow up an account, right? But would you rather have one account with $5,000 in it, where if you can't even get above the pattern day trader rule, so you're dealing with that, and you lose all your money, you're just done. You get $5,000 in your own trading account. Here, you could have one account, say you mess up, mistakes happen. Sometimes you're learning. Then you can open another account, and then a third one. Obviously, I don't want that to happen, but it's a safeguard that limits your downside while still giving you the most possible upside out there. So yeah, perfect. Nathan says he does use Tradefunder. That's awesome. Do they have good short inventory? Short inventory is decent. Like I said, I haven't really had a position where I didn't.
I have yet to run into a position where I haven't been able to take a short trade.
Right. Exactly. Same here. So your homework, since we are now wrapping this up, we are done, is go over to that link. All right. Over that link, review it. See if it's a good fit for you. For me as a trader, in my opinion, kind of a dead brain decision. Especially when you're first getting started, especially when you don't have enough capital to get over the pattern day trader rule. It took me 2 years to get over that pattern day trader rule, doing it 7 years ago because there was no other option like this to do it. I literally had to trade, grow my account, save enough money to make it happen. And that was a long frustrating process, where now you can definitely get a huge jump start out there. So click that link. Let me know if there's any issues, ladies and gentlemen. Tradefunder is no brainer.
Can I bring up one last point here?
Yeah.
Robbie's saying, Tradefunder is a no-brainer. It may cost you $99 a month, but it's an easy platform that just makes sense. That $99 a month should also be noted. That just comes out of your account. It's not like you have to. I believe that's the case. Am I right, Matt?
I think that's how it works.
Yeah, I should double check with that. But
yeah, Robbie started with Tradefunder 5 months ago. That's awesome, Robbie. And yeah, I mean, honestly, for trading outside of Tradefunder, my normal trading platform, I think I pay like $300 a month anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So honestly, it's kind of a discount that really does make this very, very helpful. So I see, just looking at some of our stocks today, signed up last week, made my first profit. Shout out to Noah. $180 on BLSK. That's why we do this. That's why the Daily Income Trader exists. That's why we're here live. We want to find the best trades, and we'll be here doing it with you. So if you do want to participate, have a Tradefunder account, get in front of some of these opportunities that we're talking about. That's what that link's for you to get started right now.
Yeah, guys, that's your homework here. For those of you guys that are under PDT, for those of you guys that are scared of taking losses because it's your own money, and your losses always seem to outweigh your winners because you have way too little size on your winning trades, this could be a really huge step towards fixing that. So take advantage of this deal that we got here. It's a sweet deal. And yeah, I'm excited. We'll be back here tomorrow, every day.
Absolutely. So again, ending on this, you know what you got to do. Tradefunder account's available. Go take advantage of it. Lots of trades throughout the rest of the day. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Yep, indeed we will. Bye, everyone.